And then the part was when you know how the castle looks, right? The one thing that you could do that had to stay there was the flag, right? So you'd have the flag, and then a few blocks over you would have the door. So because the way Mario would work is you grab the flag, you go down the flagpole, you walk a few tiles, and then here's your door. You do the peace sign and you go head out, right?
Yeah.
Thing is, that was its own entity. The flag with its exiting, with the exit, right? The castle was not a part of it. It was just 2 tiles worth of opening. So what you could do, and what we did do, and we messed around and did whatever, was you'd have the castle next to where you could have the flag. So Mario would grab the flag, he'd walk a few tiles, and then he'd walk into nothing, and then disappear, because that was it.
Wow.
But then I realized, oh, this is how you make a castle. And I remember there was this one time, you know what the Mario castle looks like, right? The old 8-bit version, it looked kind of ugly. Actually, it's 16-bit. The 16-bit version, right? You have the main brick of the thing, and then you have like that layer, and then on top of it you have like a mini castle. That's what it would look like. What I did, or what I had to figure out, was that the little crusty layer, it looked like a pie crust, right? It looked so confusing. But then one day I figured out how to make it look like a castle correctly. And when I figured that out, everybody was copying me, okay? That was my discovery. How to make the correct and accurate Mario castle.
How'd you do it? Tell us the secret.
I just told you. I figured out how the blocks were made, how they work together. Because that pie crust the pie crust of castle, all the pieces looked exactly the same, except the end and the center. So to connect the pieces was always confusing, and we just kind of combined whatever looked right, and they all looked wrong, so, you know, you lose anyway.
Just slightly.
But then, when it got really wacky, was when we tried to make big castles. I figured out that if you just repeat certain patterns of those tiles, of that pie crust, right? The pie crust castles, you could make an infinitely large castle. It was yeah, but it was pointless, because the only way to make Mario walk into that castle was to have the flagpole within distance of the opening. So even though you could have like a 3-tier castle, if Mario was not close enough to the opening, he could just walk into nothing, or walk too far, or not far enough. Obviously they showed you how far you could put the thing, but that was... You couldn't just go whatever and do what you want. You weren't allowed to be as creative as you'd want to be. There was also no Kaizoing, so you couldn't die after the flag. Or maybe we never tried it. Or maybe it was if you grab the flag, all characters on screen die. All enemies die. That was the thing. That's actually how you get too many lives in the Mario Makers. Grab the flag, everything dies. Did you not make giant castles? Oh, and that was like my thing. I was always like, oh great, it's time for the castle. This is my part. This is where I shine. It was very pointless, but I figured it out. So you know, I got it. I have to take the points on. I have to take all the credit for being the one to figure out how to make a castle. And then you could,
nicely
like,
done.
There were like these little window pieces. I figured out how those work. Figured out how to make a big castle. Completely pointless.
But it was for a Mario Flash game. That's pretty cool. Wasn't even official.
All of the levels, by the way, were flat. Obviously, they were terribly flat. There was no depth. There was nothing there. The way we made difficult levels, the way difficulty was made, was just have certain enemies in there, in the way, and that was it. And you have to. And my idea.
Too far from reality.
No. And Mario levels are not completely flat. You can go like up, and you can go down.
Oh yeah, but I mean like just throwing in some enemies.
Yeah, but see, my idea of difficult was impossible to find dev blocks. You know what a dev block is? It's the same thing as a dev pipe. It's basically the hidden block only the developer will know, right? It's developer levels of security. So a dev block is a hidden block that you need to best your foes. Here's the thing. What is the most annoying 2D Mario enemy?
Koopa?
No.
What is it?
Hammer Bro. Because they are completely random. they move completely randomly. So what I would do is I would hide, or I would put two Hammer Bros. You know how they like have those little flying platforms? I'd have him hanging out, and then
I think
I would hide fire flowers. Wow, that sucks. And you took a long time to do this too.
Okay,
You
just
didn't die
confirming.
though. Actually, you did die once or twice. I wasn't.
Let's just. Yeah, I'm just gonna take it.
If you get it, you'll stay right there and nothing will happen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, those are those.
That's another star. You have gotten stars and none of them mattered.
Yeah.
You have to change your approach. Get
Okay.
a new angle, a new perspective.
If I were a pro, a real pro.
You are not a pro.
Yeah, but if I were one, what
not
would
a
I
pro.
see? That's kind of the point. If I were one,
You're not a pro.
Okay.
What? You
I don't know.
you don't even know how a pro thinks though, is the thing.
Yeah,
All
so
you know is how to do a thing.
I'm going off theory. If I were a pro, I would jump at all the walls. Did you see that? The way it changed plane? No. Thought I could maybe look to the other side, like in the Boo level.
No. You need to see how a pro does Mario 64. Mario 64 is the speedrun game, right? So, in fact, I think this is the game that made speedrunning a thing, like popular. You could do a bunch of crazy tricks because it used to be play like how you do, right? Which is just play the game fast, go move quick and stuff, yeah. But then they find glitches, and then they incorporate glitches in the runs, how to go fast, how to break levels, and do a bunch of wacky things, crazy things. And suddenly, the idea of what speedrunning was completely changed. You can do so many things, and then it's like, what other games can do this? At
Cool.
least that's what I think. As far as like, how one thing leads to another. But yeah, definitely Mario 64. The original fast speedruns was just playing the game quick. And you see someone do it, and then you think, wait, yeah, I could do that. But now if you see how far Mario 64 speedruns have come, they are insane, and they are hard to keep up. Which is weird, because, like, you'd think you could just play the game. But whatever. What is he saying?
He's just talking about stars.
Oh. Is that helpful?
No.
Yeah.
You know
Toads
how...
just bounce on the spot, doing nothing.
I don't know. I just want to, like, maybe a little teleport in the corner. Bit like that other spot. What did this say?
I am a sign. Press A to read me.
Sometimes you'll bump into invisible walls. The
Okay, oh.
edges of the painting worlds. If you hit a wall while
What?
flying, you'll bounce back.
They really are saying that you're not meant to talk about the invisible walls. Although, no, that does make sense, actually. It's a 3D game. The first big 3D game. And, like, consider... What's that one level that you kept dying on? Or, no, Wet Dry World. That's the one. If I were to
Wait.
say which one you were dying on, that doesn't help. Doesn't
What
narrow...
did it
It
mean?
broadens it. It's
Hello?
like a big cup. That place is like a big old cup. If you shoot out and nothing, it kind of looks like you should die.
Not a
But you don't.
I
But,
don't
no, but you did die before.
This might have...
Or did it say some levels? Yeah, sometimes.
You'll
No, it
bump
just says
into
sometimes.
at the edges of the painting worlds. At the edges of the... Like, of the physical painting world or inside the actual
Wait,
world?
what's the difference? You said
Okay, so,
the
like-
painting world, and then you said the painting world.
Yeah. This...
Is it the painting world, or is it the painting world? What is the
Yeah.
painting world?
That
it
is the
Painting World
question.
1 or Painting World 2? Fish.
Okay, wait.
Oh, did
What
you know
the-
there's no water
Oh.
there?
No.
Yeah, it's just the...
Peach is incredible.
Looks like that.
Look at the
There-
bubbles.
Yeah, but if you were to break the game and get to that part, there's no water. You could just walk.
Break the game, huh? Watch me now.
No.
I'll just clip through this wall. Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure they went into the debug mode. That way they could just go through walls. Another sign! Are you using the cap blocks? You should, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Make them solid.
Tells you how to do
Break-
that. Mm-hmm.
I wonder if...
What you wondering? What's you thinking, man?
But I got all the stars in this world. The only ones are castle secret stars, so it can't be a hidden thing inside the world, because I found them.
I see.
So it's
then,
here. It's just floating right under my nose. Can you smell it? The stars? Me neither. I'm far.
How would you know if you can't smell them? How do you know if it's your lack of smell, or if it's the lack of a star smell, or if you are actually far? You have no idea. I, on the other hand, also have no idea. I have not been keeping track. I do know some of the ones you don't have. I do not know all of the ones, and that's a little annoying for me.
Mario, my castle!
Exclamation point! Exclamation point!
I know that Bowser is the cause.
My castle sucks. Doors are sealed by Bowser and magic. But there are secret paths in the castle. Paths Bowser cannot find. One of those is in this room. Oh.
Thanks, but...
Find that secret star, Mario. It would help you on your quest, Mario. Please, Mario, you have to help. Oh, us. I thought it said as. Retrieve all of the power stars of the castle, Mario, and free us from this awful Mario prison, please, Mario.
You're free, princess. You baked me a cake. I know it. Where is she, though? She's just out.
No, do you not? Oh, right. You don't play games yet. So, you defeat the boss, but then when you play the game again, it'll just put you back right before the boss is defeated. So right now you're playing as if you never fought Bowser.
But I did, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, but the game doesn't know this. Only
How?
you do.
I got the key and everything.
Because it's a weird old-timey game thing, which is you defeat the final boss, and if you were to start it up again, it just continues from your last save point, which is also dangerous. Suppose you're playing an RPG, right? If you save at some random point and you do a ton of stuff, and you decide, you know what, I'm going to go all the way to the end, and then you fight the final boss, the last time you saved was so far ago. Such a long time ago. So it's... I know Twilight Princess, Zelda Twilight Princess does something like that. Well, I mean, maybe not. Point is, it's an old-timey game thing, which is they don't... if you fight the boss, that's just you ending the game. If you try to start up the game again, that you can't continue after the boss is defeated, because you already beat the game. So you can't just start up a game that's already beaten. Therefore, it has to put you right before, which is your last save.
Wow. Wow.
What?
It's just...
Old-timey games were not...
That's a bit strange,
Not
but,
quite
you know.
there yet.
But they got there, I'm sure. They're
Actually,
very
well,
cool
even now
like
you have games that put you to a position of before you fight the final boss, but you don't gotta fight him.
Okay.
Or rather, they know you fight him. You fought. What? This takes you outside.
Yeah, I know that it was a shortcut.
Was it?
Yeah. And
You're
it
still
takes
falling.
me to the exact spot that other place did.
Yeah.
Oh, please. Lead me, river. Guide
4
me
stars.
to a...
And 7 years ago.
Yeah, what? What the? Okay. Okay.
Maybe you can just fabricate some stars and be like, look, this is a totally star. Or it's like you have so much money that you put in a bunch of fakes, and then you actually didn't have the full money. And then they're not gonna count, there's too much. But they checked enough that were like, this is real, and then like, you know what, it's all real. But it turns out everything else was fake money. A bunch of them were $20 Monopoly bills.
I wish...
Oh man, you're playing Zelda for real now. That's gonna be such a trip. It's like, what will you do? How do you do?
How about I do? Nah.
Because, like, Zelda was Ocarina of Time was the first time I had a game just say, go. And then they had no tutorial, no instructions. They just said, here's the game, begin. In fact, I thought it was, like, a bad game, I guess. Well, not a not fun game, as in the game was broken. But no, that was actually it. And then it's like, well, you can get rupees, right? You know this. You can have a max of 99 rupees in Ocarina of Time when you first start, right? I thought that was broken too, because like I could max it out. And then you have to spend it, but then you can get more money, and then it was confusing, it was weird. You may have just died.
That thing said I'd bounce back. Even on invisible walls, I thought it could work. I wanted
Well,
to test it, so
well-
let's try a physical wall just to make sure it wasn't a complete lie.
Well, see,
Oh, that's what it meant.
no, you didn't hit the invisible wall head on. You kind of slid along it.
I don't know what I'm looking for here. I just want to find like
I don't know what you're looking
switch.
for here. Or do I? No, you haven't told us. You haven't been telling us your thoughts, your
I'm just-
story.
I'm really
Your
I'm
steps
at
of progress.
a point where I don't quite know what to even look for, so I'm just looking in random places.
I'm not
hoping
sure
for a
at what
stroke of
point.
luck.
I'm not sure at what point I have to be like, okay, here's what you do. Because, I mean, you were able to find some stuff by chance, by dumb luck, right?
All
I'm
I have
kind
to
of
do is do it
wondering, will
again.
that happen again? And if it does, that would be your way. Oh, wow.
Oh, I didn't even.
Wow.
Oops. What a shot.
Yeah, it's a...
No, I mean the camera.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay. It was magical.
It's... I'm wondering. Because here's the thing, what if eventually you do just get so fed up that you start to think completely differently, and suddenly you're getting closer to the end?
That's
Then-
a good point.
But in that way, how long until that happens? Because, I mean, what if you, like, play a game and it's not... you keep doing the same thing over and over and you don't even get to the fun part yet because it took too long, and then you realize, you know what, I'm not coming back. You miss out on a whole game. A whole fun game of game. A whole... an entire game's worth of game.
I think most people would just look it up.
Well, think about this era of gaming. There was
Yeah.
no looking up. There was gaming mags, which is Nintendo. What was it? I think it was Nintendo Power. Yeah, that's the one. You'd look in the magazines and be like, "Hey, did you know that if you do this, you can do this?"
Oh. Well,
In fact, there was a. It was, I think, Mario Kart 64, which is like, hey, pro tip for if you want to be good at the game. Just screen hack. They didn't use those words, but that's what they said. Look at your opponent or look at the other's screens, and then you can see where they are and what they're doing. I think it was to shoot shells backward. If you look at whoever you're racing against, maybe just watch carefully, and you can line up the shot and hit him from behind.
wow. I like that.
And now we have like none of that. No more screen hacking.
I find this blue fire very suspicious. And you know, within all the red
That
fire.
fire is purple.
Oh,
Yeah,
let's
the
stare at
water
it.
is blue. What are you looking at?
The fire.
The gif of fire?
Yes.
Goodness gracious, great gifs of fire.
All of this fire, but where's
Get it done in a jiffy.
the fire? The real fire that I'm needing.
What do you mean real fire? What's fake fire? In that case, what's real fire?
One that will take me to a star.
Oh. Ba-da-da.
Ooh, like invisible ceiling.
Okay, so I know where 3 stars are. I don't know what the 4th one, or what another one is.
What could I be missing? I've spoken to 2 toads in this castle, and both
Yeah.
of them gave me a star. So why
Yeah.
can't the rest do that?
Well, if everybody did it, he'd just take the toads, wouldn't he? If one does it and then another does it, Bowser will be like, "Hey, wait a minute! I detect a pattern here. You can't keep stop." And then he'll be like, you know, blood face because he cut them. And then he'll make an example out of them as they are disemboweled. You could make a day of it, you know. Annual
Toad slaughter.
annual we'll call it
Mushroom removal.
No More Life Day.
Oh.
The day we all no more that you die.
Okay.
Be fun for the whole family.
Let me in.
Or
Let
rather,
me see.
will require a whole family.
There's like a trap door. Oh,
Ooh,
found it.
he got you.
He did.
Wow.
You stepped right into my
Oh yeah,
trap.
this.